Alright, so do 2 back-to-back episodes here. We have from the summer 1938 season, the second series to feature Orson Welles as the Shadow. We have 2 episodes here. We've got Murder on Approval and The Tomb of Terror, Pennsylvania's finest anthracite. I think this season was actually sponsored by Goodyear or something. It was the regular seasons were sponsored by Blue Coal, so I'm terribly sorry to disappoint you. They found like 11 more episodes of this season, too. I got the set somewhere. I got to find it and incorporate it into my collection properly. But, okay, so just give me a second here. I do have an OTR thing, I think. Yes, here we are. All right. See you guys after the Shadow, whence I get food for my mouth face. See you in a bit. Enjoy the show.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, to stay at the top and meet the competition of the underworld's keenest minds, the Shadow has to be still better than any of them. And it's the same way with tires. For years, Goodrich Silvertowns have given motorists the real blowout protection of the Golden Fly. Now, like a true champion, Goodrich offers another important safety feature. The amazing new Lifesaver tread that gives you the quickest non-skid stops you've ever had. This new tread is specially designed to overcome the hazard zone of motorists, where a slippery film of water on the road may make complete command of your car almost impossible. Its never-ending spiral bars sweep the water right and left, force it out through the deep grooves, make a dry track for the rubber to grip. Wouldn't you be thankful for a tire like that the next time you're faced with a wet road emergency? Put Goodrich Silvertowns on your car now. The Shadow, Lamont Cranston, a man of wealth, a student of science, and a master of other people's minds, devotes his life to righting wrongs, protecting the innocent, and punishing the guilty. Cranston is known to the underworld as the Shadow. Never seen, only heard. His true identity is known only to his constant friend and aide, Margot Lane. Today's story, Murder on Approval.
Dr. Calandra, I have read your statement.
Yes?
Frankly, I am interested.
I thought you would be, General. Otherwise, I never would have traveled so many thousand miles to see you.
You say that you can infect a large number of persons with a deadly disease at will.
Yes.
That you can cause more deaths in an army than all the guns in the world.
Your Excellency, once let loose, this disease would totally destroy an enemy's morale. With its aid, you can easily overcome any nation in the world.
The general is already ruler of the East.
But he will not stop with his conquest. I am sure His Excellency is planning to extend his powers even further. I can give him victory.
What is this sickness you can spread, Doctor?
I am sorry. That I cannot divulge at this time.
Nor the method of infecting the enemy, Doctor.
Nor that, Your Excellency. And only I know the cure.
Dr. Calanza, your name is not unknown to us. You have been many things. Scientist, adventurer, spy. But you've not always been successful.
No. General, may I suggest that you let me try an experiment on troops of your own choosing?
Troops? I cannot sacrifice my men. If your disease is
Not
fatal...
on your own soldiers, sir. But why not those of some other power?
Perhaps it's an idea.
Soldiers of some country you would be glad to humiliate and hurt. Perhaps even invade.
But we are not at war at the present time, Doctor.
Does that matter? General, pick any spot in the world, any well-guarded garrison, and in 2 months I shall have wiped out that garrison. Choose the spot for my experiment. But perhaps it would be better to choose some country you are interested in, yes?
Yes. All right. We will select your guinea pigs. Captain, the map.
Yes, sir. Here's the map.
Alonzo, do you know this spot on the coast of the United States?
No. But that does not matter.
It is one of their army bases.
A splendid choice, General. It is well guarded, Doctor.
All the better to prove my point. I will leave for America at once. In a short time, many American soldiers will die in their barracks. Then, if you wish me to destroy the whole army of the United States, I can do it for you.
Good. Captain, you will make the arrangements with the good doctor, please, to purchase his little methods for murder on approval.
Enjoying yourself, Miss Lane?
Very much, Colonel Torrance. I like the army.
So I've noticed, Margot. I think you've danced with every officer at the base.
Why not, Lamont? The poor boys are due back inside the post at midnight.
Awfully glad you could come tonight, Miss Lane. I don't get away from the base often myself. You'd be surprised at the trouble a couple of thousand men can manage to get into.
Oh? Trouble, Colonel?
Yes, if it isn't one thing, it's another. Yesterday, what should crop up but some new fangled disease?
Oh, a new disease?
Nothing serious, I hope. Is it catching?
Well, nobody seems to know much about it. Fortunately, there are only a couple of cases. Dr. Harris isolated the sick men immediately, so the rest of us should be safe enough.
Have I met Dr. Harris, Colonel?
I think so. He's around someplace with a foreign doctor. Yes, the stocky, red-faced officer coming this way.
Oh, yes, I see.
Harris promised to introduce his guest. Evening, Dr. Harris.
Good evening, sir.
Miss Lane, Dr. Nicholas Harris.
How do you do?
We met at dinner, Doctor.
Oh, yes, Mr. Benson. Colonel, may I present my friend, Dr. Gregor Calanza?
You're welcome, Dr. Calanza.
Thank you kindly.
Well, Lamont, shall we dance?
I'd love it, Margot. Will you excuse us, Captain?
Certainly. Well, how are those boys in the hospital, Doctor?
Well, they seemed a little better when I left them.
Good. Get him to tell you about that, Dr. Calanza. A couple of soldiers have caught some strange disease.
Really?
Yes, seems so. They're pretty sick, too. Oh, sorry, my wife is looking for me. I'll speak with you later.
Yes.
That's quite amusing.
What?
You are to tell me about this strange new disease.
Not so loud.
Oh, nonsense. There's nothing to fear. No one knows anything about us, Harris. Unless you have done some talking.
Is it likely I'd go around telling people that I was betraying my country?
You are being well paid.
I know that.
Nothing can happen, Harris. The disease is unknown. It strikes very quickly. And it is fatal within a week.
No, I'd no idea when we started that I was handling such powerful germs.
That's why I insisted on shooting antitoxin into you. Without it, we would both get the disease.
No, I wish it were over.
Oh, don't worry. In a few days it will be. And you'll be a rich man, Harris.
Yes, rich. After all these years in the army.
You broke the little glass bottles as I instructed.
Yes, I dropped one of them in the barracks tonight just before I came away.
There are enough germs in those bottles to kill a regiment. You will have some new cases shortly.
Be careful. Here comes one of the lieutenants.
Doctor. Doctor, have you seen Colonel Collins?
Why, yes, he's right over there.
Oh, yes. You better come along, sir. You'll be needed. There's trouble at the base.
Trouble?
Yes, hurry, sir.
It seems that our plan is going smoothly, Harris.
Be quiet, will you? You come on over to Colonel Torrance.
Get deep inside the base.
All right. I'll keep quiet.
Colonel Carr.
Yes?
From the base, sir. Urgent.
Yes, Lieutenant. Let's have it.
Here, sir.
Let me see. Good Lord.
What is it, sir?
The whole barracks has come down with that confounded disease, Harris. 200 men.
Pretty bad, sir.
It's an epidemic, sir.
Yes, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
General order. All officers must report back to post immediately. Emergency.
Yes, sir. The base is already under quarantine, sir.
Good. Announce the recall from the bandstand.
Right away, sir.
Colonel, perhaps Dr. Calandra could give us a hand. We're going to need every doctor we can get.
I would be delighted, Colonel.
Well, very kind of you.
No excitement, Colonel.
Cranston, you'll have to drive us back at once. The base is hit by an epidemic.
An epidemic?
Yes. Will you have room for Dr. Harris and Dr. Calandra?
General order! All officers are to report back to post for duty immediately!
Faster, Margot, faster. The colonel's in a hurry.
The car's going as fast as it can, Lamont.
Yes, we'll be there in a minute, Cranston.
Dr. Harris.
Yes?
I say, have you any idea what this mysterious disease might be?
Well, unfortunately, no. That's why I brought Dr. Calandra along.
From the symptoms described, it is something entirely new in medical science.
We've got to save those men and check the disease.
I'll do my best, sir.
This thing has spread very rapidly, Doctor. It might almost be some new form of Oriental plague.
Oriental plague? Here? In the United States? Oh, nonsense.
Well, Doctor, I've seen disease spread like wildfire in the Far East. No. I'd like to take a look at this, Colonel.
Well, I'm afraid that's impossible, Mr. Cranston.
Well, why, Harris?
The post has been quarantined by general order, sir. Can't ignore that order.
But Calandra is going in.
Yes. I am a doctor, Mr. Cranston.
And besides, Mr. Cranston, you might catch the disease.
Well, I don't mind taking that chance.
Well, that's very brave of you, sir, but I'm afraid we can't allow it. The order is definite quarantine against civilians.
Yes, I'm afraid the doctor's right, Lamont. In the Army, orders are orders.
Very well. Just as you say, sir.
So it's just around the bend, Miss Lane.
Pull up alongside the gate.
You are right here, Miss Lane.
All right. Here we are.
Halt. Who goes there?
Colonel Torrance.
Advance to recognize, Colonel Torrance.
Well, thanks for the lift, Lamont.
Don't mention it.
Come on, Dr. Calandra, hurry.
I am ready.
Good night, Miss Lane.
Good night, gentlemen.
I still wish you'd let me go in and take a look around.
Well, I'm afraid that's out of the question entirely, Mr. Cranston. Come on, Calandra.
Coming.
It's nice of you to offer, my boy. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Colonel. I suppose we might as well drive back to the hotel.
Just a moment, Margot. I'm getting out here.
Getting out here, but Lamont...
I'm going to take a look at this disease, Margot. There was a queer look on Calandra's face when I mentioned it might have an Oriental origin.
Yes, but the sentries won't let you in, Lamont. The place is quarantined.
I'll have a very hard time quarantining a shadow.
Lamont, you mean you're going in there as the shadow?
Yes, Margot. When the car door slams, I shall immediately become the shadow.
Who's that? Say. Now, wait a minute, miss.
Oh, well, you want something, soldier?
Why, I just heard the car door slam. Did somebody get out?
Well, you don't see anybody, do you?
No. No, ma'am, but I thought I saw... Well, I guess it's all right. That's kind of funny. Hey, Joe! Yeah? I could have sworn I saw somebody get out of that car. Anybody go through the gate?
Hey, there's enough floodlights here to light up the entire army. I didn't see a soul.
I don't know. I thought I saw a man, and then just like that, there wasn't anybody there.
You must be getting punchy.
Ladies and gentlemen, while we leave the shadow for a moment, just put yourself in this picture. You're driving along in the rain. The road ahead looks safe, even though it is plenty wet. But suddenly you flash past that familiar warning sign, road slippery when wet.
Beware. Look out for skids. Will the tires on your car slip or grip?
And motorists, your tires will grip wet roads if they're the new Goodrich Silver Towns with Lifesaver Tread. This fact was proved not alone by Goodrich, but by the nation's largest independent testing laboratory, the noted Pittsburgh Testing Laboratory. The impartial engineers of this great laboratory tested the new Silvertown for 3 months against both the regular and premium price tires of America's 6 largest tire manufacturers. And here are the results. They found that no other tire tested, not even those priced at from 40% to 70% more than Silvertown's, came up to the new Silvertown in skid resistance. Furthermore, they found that this Silvertown gave more non-skid mileage than any of the other tires tested in its own price range. In fact, it averaged 19.1% more mileage before the tires wore smooth, which is the same as saying you'll get every 6 mile free. And remember, motorists, many tires cost more than Silvertown's, but no other tire at any price can give you Lifesaver Tread skid protection and the famous Golden Ply blowout protection. Equip your car with these life-saving Silvertowns now.
Broken glass. Glass.
Just like this.
He's waiting, General.
He was all right a minute ago, Dr. Gilson.
My head. It burns.
That's the fever. Comes in waves. Moments, he's quite rational.
Who's there? Who broke the glass? I heard a glass break. I tell you.
Get Dr. Harris. Maybe he can get that fever down. I can.
Right away, Dr. Gilson.
I've got to go look up this other patient. Shut the door after us, nurse.
I'm on fire. Water. Water, please. Glass. Yes. Broken glass.
Steve, can you hear me? Listen to me.
Who is it? Oh. Someone there?
You must tell me something, Steve. It's important.
Where are you? I can't see.
Don't worry, even if you can't see me.
There's only a voice.
I'm here, Steve, here in the shadows. Listen to me.
Yes?
Listen. Quickly, before the fever returns. Tell me why you keep repeating the word broken glass.
Broken glass.
Yes. Keep saying it over and over. Why?
I don't know.
Think, Steve. Think. What is there about broken glass? Glass. Think, son.
Glass. Broken glass. Oh, I know.
Yes?
Yes, last night in the barracks, when all the fellows were asleep,
Yes, Steve?
I woke up. I thought I heard something, like glass breaking.
The room, Steve?
Yes, just a little tinkle, like someone had dropped a tiny glass. And then a few hours later, we were all sick. Oh, my head. Who broke glass?
All right. Shut these out, Doctor.
This one was quite bad. One of the new ones. Great Scott.
What is it? What's the matter?
Oh, my head. Why, this boy, he's my nephew.
Your nephew?
Yes, my sister's son, Steve. Steve, how do you feel, boy?
It is unfortunate, Harris.
Well, I thought he was home on leave. He wasn't due back this week. Is he fatally ill, Calanza?
To that, Harris. I give him 2 days at most.
No, he can't die.
I am sorry, but it is unavoidable.
Uncle Nick, help me. Calanza, you've got to do something for him.
Nothing can be done.
Steve, it's Uncle Nick, Steve. I'm here. Uncle Nick. Oh, help. Please. Glass.
The boy is delirious, Harris.
But save him.
Impossible. There is no cure.
But Steve is my nephew. Steve.
Be quiet, you fool. Come, let us go to your office.
No, I must stay here.
Come up, I have to break you. Brace up, Harris. Don't lose your nerve. Come on, man.
Broken glass. Oh, Uncle Nick. Someone broken glass.
Yes, Steve. Someone broke glass. And I mean to learn just what your Uncle Nick had to do with it. He and Gregor Calanza.
Calanza, you've got to do something for Steve.
What can I do? I told you the disease was taken.
But I don't care about the others. Steve's different. He's my sister's son.
So you said. I am sorry.
Calanza, tell me, isn't there some sort of serum?
No.
But you gave me antitoxin.
That was to prevent your catching the fever. It is different. Your nephew is already infected. There is no hope now.
There's got to be.
Harris, pull yourself together. You are being well paid.
I know, but money won't give Steve back to my
I
sister.
told you I was sorry. But there is nothing to be done. Nothing. I am going back to the ward.
The progress of the disease is very good.
Oh, don't be so callous.
I am a scientist, Harris. Now get hold of yourself, man. Remember, a soldier died this morning. It is murder now.
Murder?
Yes. And death is the penalty for that. So you'd better keep quiet about it. I will see you later.
Oh, Commander!
Later.
Oh, Steve. Steve.
Weeping won't help Steve, Dr. Harris.
Yes? Who spoke? Who's there?
The shadow. Your nephew is dying, Dr. Harris.
Who are you? Where are you?
I am here, although you cannot see me, Dr. Harris.
What do you want with me?
You and Gregor Carlanza are responsible for this disease.
No, you're wrong. I don't know anything about it.
You cannot lie to the shadow, Doctor.
I tell you, I know nothing.
Then your nephew dies, Doctor. Dies horribly.
Oh, stop it. Will you stop it?
The voice of the shadow is never silent when there is evil.
I won't talk to you. I won't talk to you. I'm getting out of here.
You cannot escape from the shadow.
Leave me alone.
We shall meet again, Dr. Harris. And then...
Here's the test tube you wanted, Dr. Harris.
All right, put it down, man. Put it down.
Yes, sir.
Now leave me alone. I've got to find the serum that will counteract the effect of this fever.
Yes, sir. Good luck, sir.
Let's see, where's that culture? Oh, yes. Now, if this formula will only work.
Hurry, Dr. Harris. Steve is dying.
Oh, you.
You dropped your test tube, Doctor. Just the way you dropped one in the barracks. And spread the germ.
You know that. But I didn't. I didn't.
Tell the truth, Doctor. Think of Steve.
Oh, you fiend. Will you leave me alone? I must find a serum that will cure him.
Only Gregor Carlanza can give you that in time. Who is he? Where's he from?
I don't know anything about him.
Carlanza more to you than your nephew? Speak, man. Carlanza got you into this, didn't he? And now Steve is dying, Harris.
Stop
dying.
it. Stop it. I tell you, I can't stand it. Let me out of here. Safe in my room. Now, wait, I must lock the door. Locked and bolted. No, he can't get in. That voice coming from nowhere. Always in my ear. Oh, I'm going crazy. Where's my bag? I've got to get away.
Leave Steve dead behind you, Doctor?
How did you get in here?
I'm with you all the time, Doctor.
Oh, please. Go away. Please leave me in peace.
There is no peace, Doctor, for a man who will let his nephew die in agony.
Oh, I'd save him if I could. Believe me, but I don't know how.
Carlanza
But
knows.
he says there's no cure.
You believe him? He had an antitoxin, didn't he? Perhaps he has a serum that will cure the disease once it's developed.
But he told me...
He got you into this crime, didn't he?
Yes. Yes, he promised me wealth. I've always been poor.
Why did he pick this army base for his crime?
Because if he's successful, it means the entire army will be wiped out in this way.
United States Army?
Yes, this disease would wipe out whole armies. Then invasion would be a simple matter. But you can't isolate the germ. There's no cure.
There must be a cure. Carlanza would have one.
But he says there is none.
There must be. Make him tell you what it is. Otherwise, your nephew dies.
But I can't help him. Or this country either.
Steve is dying, and you're afraid to cost the one man who might cure him. What is Carlanza compared to your sister's son? He got you into this. Make him help you.
Yes. All right. All right, yes. Yes, I will.
Well, hurry. He's out there now, watching the soldiers die. Watching Steve and the other men he's poisoned. And enjoying it, Harris. Enjoying it.
I'll get him to my office and make him give me that serum. That's it. I'll make him.
Hurry, Doctor. Hurry. This way, Colonel Torrance.
Tell me, who are you?
I am known as the Shadow, Colonel. Please do not waste more time in wondering that you cannot see me. I told you I could clear up the mystery of this epidemic. I'll keep my promise, sir. Just step in here, please.
All right. Wait a minute. This is Dr. Harris' office.
Yes. You'll know the whole story in a few moments, Colonel. Get behind the screen, please. Don't move until I give the word. Here they come.
Come in here, Calandra.
Harris, have you lost your mind?
Maybe.
Dragging me out of the vault like that. You must be mad.
Now, you'd be crazy, too. If that thing follows you around all day.
That thing? What are you talking
A
about?
voice, Calandra. A voice. Something that you can't see. But you can hear him all right. He keeps talking.
Oh, Harris, snap out of
I
it.
tell you, I heard him. He knows all about you and me and the disease.
Who knows all this?
That voice, the voice. He knows everything.
Ah, you're dreaming. Your nephew's sick of the septic.
Yes. We made my nephew Stephen get the disease, Calandra.
Well, he is not the only
But
one.
he's got to be cured.
Oh, no, don't start that again. There isn't any cure.
You're lying.
Harris, don't be a fool. I can't afford
And
to.
there is a serum that will cure the disease.
And what if there is? I am not wasting it on your precious nephew.
Oh, yes, you are.
Harris, put down that gun.
You listen to me, Calandra. Either you give me the formula for that serum or I'll kill you. I mean it.
The formula is worth a fortune, Harris. It will make us both rich. If you will only use your head.
Never mind the talk. Don't try reaching for your gun either. I'm watching you. The formula for the serum, quick.
All right.
Where is it?
In my pocket. It never leaves my wallet.
Give it to me.
Oh, just a minute. Yeah. Take it.
Thanks. Now I can save Steve.
If you know enough medicine to read that formula.
I must read it. There. Yes, it's plain enough. I can make this serum. Look. It says you take...
Don't treat it. Fool. Did you think I really meant to have you get my serum? Die like the others. Now, I will take back my formula.
No, I'll take that paper, Calandra.
What? Who snatched that paper?
I did, Dr. Calandra.
A voice. Harris is right.
Dr. Harris was quite right.
Give me back my formula. I'll shoot.
What will you shoot at,
You
Doctor?
better not shooting, Calandra. Throw up your hands.
Colonel Harris,
Drop that gun.
Never.
Take
it then.
Calandra's dead, Colonel.
Never a man deserved to be shot. It's that murderer.
Yes. Take the formula to the laboratory. The serum made up in a hurry.
Well, what about you, Shadow?
My work is finished, Colonel. First is up to your medical staff. Calandra and Harris dreamed of power and wealth to be acquired through mass murder. Such dreams are dearly bought. The price of Calandra's dream and Harris's traitorship was death. The hidden menace to the armed strength of our country has been uncovered and destroyed.
You have been listening to a dramatized version of one of the many copyrighted stories which appear in the Shadow magazine, now on sale at your local newsstand.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The shadow knows.
All the characters and all the places named are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a moment, the Shadow will be on the air with a thrilling new adventure. But first, let me tell you about a new kind of tire that makes wet weather driving safer than you've ever dreamed possible. It's the new Goodrich Silvertown tire with the Lifesaver tread. Next time it rains, just notice the way your windshield wiper sweeps the water right and left to give you clear, safe vision. Well, that's how the amazing Lifesaver tread on the new Goodrich Silvertown tire performs on a wet road. It sweeps the water right and left, forces it out through the deep drainage grooves, makes a dry track for the rubber to grip, gives you the quickest non-skid stops you've ever seen. And you get this life-saving skid protection plus golden ply blowout protection at no extra cost. So play safe. Equip your car with Goodrich Safety Silvertown. The Shadow, Lamont Cranston, a man of wealth, a student of science, and a master of other people's minds, devotes his life to righting wrongs, protecting the innocent, and punishing the guilty. Cranston is known to the underworld as the Shadow. Never seen, only heard. The Shadow's true identity is known only to his constant friend and aide, Margot Lane. Today's story, The Tomb of Terror.
And so, gentlemen, we are gathered here on the grounds of the City Museum to pay tribute to those who have successfully brought to this country the building that stands before you. The authentic tomb of the Egyptian pharaoh, King Khufra-Tep. It is my pleasure to present to you now the man who is largely responsible for its discovery, transportation, and reassembly. The director of the expedition, Dr. Romney Hale.
Thank you. Thank you. Directors of the museum and fellow workers, I am very grateful. It has been through your cooperation that this work has been made possible. Although perhaps we owe a vote of thanks to good King Khufra-Tep himself. In spite of the legendary curse that all who gaze upon King Khufra-Tep's mummy shall die, the bulk of our job is finished. Now, before you are admitted for the inspection, will you excuse Mr. Avery, Mr. Johnson, and myself while we make a brief check of the interior of the tomb? Harry, Jack, will you come with me?
Oh, surely, Doctor.
Oh, certainly, Doctor. Well, gentlemen, how does the place look to you?
Why, Doctor, you've done an amazing job.
It looks exactly as it did when we first unearthed it in Egypt.
Thank you. Would you like to pay your respects to His Majesty?
Oh, indeed I would, Doctor.
Very well. Will you help me with the lid of the mummy case?
Oh, sure.
There you are. Khufra-Tep the King, Lord of Egypt.
My, magnificent face.
Yes, wonderfully preserved.
We are defying the ancient curse by looking upon that face.
Oh, come, Dr. Hale. Surely you don't believe
Look. Look at the mummy's eyes.
Why, that's strange. They seem to glow.
Yes, I see it, too. A sort of unearthly light.
What is this, Doctor, a trick?
No, gentlemen, I give you my word. I don't know what it could be.
The light's growing brighter.
I don't like this. It's uncanny.
Close that case.
Let's get out of here, Doctor.
I can't understand it. If we hadn't all seen it, I would... Oh!
Dr. Hale, what's the matter?
Take his arm, Jack. Let's get him outside.
Well, did you... What's wrong? What's the matter with Dr. Hale?
I don't know. He suddenly collapsed. He was...
Jack, what's the matter with you? Someone get a doctor, quick. These two men are very ill. Harry, what happened in there?
Well, Mr. Rafferty, I was...
Harry!
Catch him. He's falling.
Harry. Here, man, tell me what happened.
Mr. Rafferty, it was... The eyes. The eyes.
Yes.
It's King Khufra-Tep's curse.
Doctor, tell me, how are they?
All three of these men are dead. Hold those fetches.
What do you got, Chief?
A terrific yarn. Dr. Romney Hale, the archaeologist, and two of his assistants died mysteriously an hour ago in King Khufra-Tep's tomb. Play up the curse angle and spread it for all it's worth.
Right, too. Cream on his side.
Some of those donuts, too, please.
Oh, donuts? Lamont, do you suppose we can dunk?
Well, certainly, Margot. Lunch wagon etiquette not only allows dunking, it encourages it.
There's your donuts, Chief. That'll be 26.
Here you are. Just keep the change.
All right, thanks.
Say, Bud, is there anything new on them guys that kicked off over at that coffee, the Kipper, that Egyptian king?
No, nothing new.
Hey, how about my ham on rye?
Right with you.
What do you make of that tomb affair, Lamont?
Just amazing, and the newspapers are playing up the superstition fallacy.
You don't think that all 3 deaths were due to coincidence?
Hardly that, but I certainly don't hold to the Kufratep curse theory.
But something strange must have happened in that tomb.
Unquestionably.
According to the newspaper reports, one of the 3 men before he died was heard to mutter something about eyes, terrible eyes. And his last words were King Kufratep's curse.
They were undoubtedly terrified by something they saw in there. They did not die of fear.
Oh, I know. According to the doctors, they all died natural death.
Yes, that's quite true.
One of pneumonia, one of typhoid, and one of heart disease.
That's the way the doctors had to write their death certificates. Perhaps when the truth is known, they will have to be changed.
Changed? What do you mean, Lamont?
You finished eating?
Oh, yes.
Should we take a walk?
Oh, all right, let's go.
Good night, boss.
Good night.
Night. Lamont, what did you mean the death certificates will have to be changed?
3 men do not die within seconds of one another of different diseases without a single underlying cause.
Oh, that's true.
Margot, the mysterious death of those 3 men has challenged the imagination of the shadow. I must find out the medical details of the deaths of those men.
Then you think there's more in it than the papers have printed?
I know there is.
I can get those details for you.
Good. As soon as you have the necessary information, communicate with me. The shadow will await your call. Hello.
Lamont, this is Margot.
Oh, yes, Margot. What did you find out?
I just talked to Dr. Burley, he's in charge of the case.
Yes?
He said that the 3 men actually died, as the paper said, but there was one detail that was not printed.
What is that?
Well, the doctors themselves don't seem to understand it, but an examination of the victim's blood has shown in each case a complete absence of leukocytes.
Leukocytes.
Yeah.
Those are white corpuscles.
Yes.
Do you realize what that means? Without white corpuscles in the blood, the human system would have nothing with which to combat disease. No wonder they died. Margot, this is the first key to the mystery. Perhaps the shadow can find the answer to the next question within the museum walls.
I tell you, we must go through with the public opening of the tomb, as originally planned.
But will the public be there?
We'll have to take that chance.
Gentlemen, I wish we had never started this project.
Now, see here, Kent. You've been acting like an old woman about this whole thing.
But, Mr. Rafferty,
We've poured thousands of dollars of the museum's money into the tomb, and it's up to us to dispel this nonsense about the Kufratep curse.
I am not so sure that it is nonsense.
Rubbish.
Oh, you can't dismiss the fact that 3 men died.
They all died natural death.
I wouldn't be too sure about that, Mr. Rafferty.
Who's speaking?
Who is that?
I am called the Shadow.
The Shadow?
I've heard of you. What do you want of us?
I've been investigating the deaths of your 3 colleagues. I've come to warn you that no one must be permitted within the walls of the tomb.
Why do you say that?
Because anyone who enters may not come out alive.
Are you implying that there is truth in the Kufratep curse?
I am telling you, Mr. Rafferty, I have reason to believe that the name of the curse of Kufratep is cold, premeditated murder.
Nonsense.
Not nonsense, Mr. Stevenson.
With all respect to your unsolicited information, we are not going to be intimidated by an unknown voice.
Speak for yourself, Mr. Stevenson. I am inclined to respect the Shadow's warning.
Quiet, Kent. On what grounds, Shadow, do you base your statement?
You will have to accept what I've said on faith.
I've had enough of this.
Wait, Mr. Stevenson. We may learn more.
No, I'm going to rid us of this hocus-pocus once and for all.
Yes. What do you propose to do, Stevenson?
I'm going into that tomb tonight, right now.
Don't do that, Mr. Stevenson.
I know what I'm doing, Shadow. Well, who'll accompany me? Don't tell me that you're all afraid.
Why, no, not at all. But perhaps none of us should be too hasty.
Very wisely spoken, Mr. Rafferty.
Very well. Then I shall go alone.
You are very foolhardy, Stevenson.
We shall see. Who has the key to the tomb?
I have, Mr. Stevenson, but...
Now, give it to me.
Mr. Rafferty, can't you persuade him to change his mind?
Don't you think, Stevenson,
Kent,
we might...
give me the key.
Very well. Here you are.
Thank you.
Now, wait. We'll accompany you to the door of the tomb.
All right.
You may be going to your death, Stevenson.
I'll chance that. Come along, then. Well, here we are. Have any of you changed your mind? Mr. Rafferty?
No, thank you.
Hawkins?
I prefer to wait outside.
I know there's no use asking you, Kent.
Don't go in there, Mr. Steve. Something horrible waiting for you in there.
Give me that flashlight. I'll find that out for myself.
He's in the tomb.
Nothing horrible has happened in here yet.
Don't touch the mummy case.
Why not? Might as well make the investigation complete.
Don't, Stevenson. You mustn't. Can't any of you stop him?
What can we do?
I'm opening the mummy case.
We've got to get him out of there. I'll go myself.
Here, come back here, Kent.
Stevenson!
I'm looking at the mummy's face. Hey, that's strange. There's something peculiar here.
Come away from that mummy, Stevenson.
Kent! Stevenson! I insist that you both come out of there at once.
But there's something here that I don't understand. There seems to be...
It's happened. He's choking.
Kent, bring him out here.
I'm trying to. Here. All right, Stevenson. Here, now just lean on me.
Stevenson. Man, what happened?
I looked at Gufraw. He's dead. He's dead.
It's not possible.
The shadow was right.
Yes, gentlemen. Stevenson ignored my warning. This perished. This should convince all of you that there is a ruthless killer masked behind the Kufratep curse.
Ladies and gentlemen, one warning from the shadow strikes fear into the hearts of his adversaries. Yes, and just one skid is enough to put the fear of wet, slippery roads into any motorist's heart.
The shadow knows. The thousands of motorists who are killed or injured every year when slithering skids throw cars out of control would never risk the danger, grief, and expense of riding on unsafe tires if they had another chance.
Motorists, I've already told you that the new Goodrich Silvertown tire will stop you quicker, safer on wet pavements than you've ever stopped before. But you don't have to take my word for it. Here are the facts. Exhaustive road tests of both regular and premium price tires of America's 6 largest tire manufacturers were made by the nation's largest independent testing laboratory, the Pittsburgh Testing Laboratory. And here's what they found. The new Goodrich Silvertown with Lifesaver tread gave greater skid resistance than any other tire tested. Yes, and that included those tires listed at from 40% to 70% higher in price. The Goodrich Safety Silvertown gave more non-skid mileage than any other tire tested in its own price range. Average 19.1% more miles before the tires wore smooth. That's performance in any car owner's language. The kind of performance that spells safer, more economical driving for you. Remember, there's double protection in these life-saving Goodrich Silvertowns at no extra cost.
Margot, what did you learn about Stevenson's death?
Well, Lamont, the doctors officially called it influenza.
What about the blood test?
It was the same as the others. The white corpuscles had been destroyed.
Just as I thought. That proves that Stevenson was murdered, too, and by the same instrument.
But, Lamont, what can that instrument be?
It may be a serum, poison gas, I don't know. More important than the killing device is to find the killer's motive.
You found out something, Lamont?
Not exactly, but I saw a man at the museum about whom I should like to know more.
Who is he?
Aldous Kent, an assistant curator. I'm sure that he has more knowledge of this affair than he allows himself to show.
Why do you suspect him?
For several reasons. His apparent concern for Stevenson's safety was a bit overdone. For a scientist, he was surprisingly naive about the Kufratep curse, and most important, in spite of his outward fear, he followed Stevenson into the tomb. I'd like to know more about that man, Margot. And that's where you can help me.
Yes, Lamont, but how?
By visiting Kent as a newspaper woman. Interview him about his career. Find out whether he's interested in any branch of science other than archaeology. Well, Margot?
I saw Aldous Kent.
Yes?
He hasn't always been an archaeologist. He worked at many things.
For instance?
Well, before he went to work for the museum, he was employed as an assistant by Dr. Faber. You know, the well-known biologist.
Very interesting, Margot. I think that's all I'll have to know.
But, Lamont, does that have any bearing on the murder?
May have everything to do with them. I'll be able to answer that question after the shadow pays a call on Dr. Faber.
Dr. Faber.
Eh? What? Who's that?
Don't be startled, Dr. Faber.
Who are you?
I am the shadow.
Are you in this room? I can't see you.
I regret that I must remain in the shadows.
What do you want?
I am seeking information.
Well?
I would like to have you tell me what you know of Aldous Kent.
Kent? Aldous Kent? Well, he worked for me. He was my assistant for several years.
Yes, I know that, Dr. Faber. What kind of a man was he?
Very efficient laboratory man.
Why did he leave your employ?
Well, frankly, because he was dissatisfied. Kent was a very moody man. He felt that his work should be more fully recognized.
What sort of work did he do?
He was active in all the routine laboratory experiments.
Can you recall what some of those experiments were?
Let me see. Well, he made some really brilliant contributions to our work with the Röntgen ray. That's the X-ray, of course.
Yes, I know. Exactly what were those experiments?
We were varying the ray to determine its effect on animal life.
What was that effect?
Well, at one stage of the game, it was destructive. We developed a ray that was capable of destroying the white corpuscles in the blood of the laboratory animals.
It's enormously interesting, Doctor. Tell me, does such a ray have the same effect on human beings?
Oh, yes, it probably does.
Thank you, Dr. Faber. You have given me the solution to the mystery of the Kufratep curse.
I feel certain, Margot, that the machine of death is concealed somewhere within Kufratep's tomb.
But why must you go there tonight?
Because I can investigate without danger of interference. There's no time to be lost.
Can't you confront Kent with the information you already have?
No, Kent's a clever man. He might give him time to destroy the evidence. And we could pin nothing on him.
Yes, I see.
If I can uncover the deadly ray and positively identify Kent with it, he can be tricked into capture.
Here's the museum.
I'll turn in this driveway. As a precaution, I'll switch off the headlights.
Lamont, I hate to have you going into that tomb alone. It's an eerie-looking place.
No, nothing will happen to me.
Yes, that's what the others thought.
The others weren't aware of the real danger as I am. Hand me the flashlight, Margot.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Wait, what's that over there among the trees?
Appears to be someone carrying a lantern.
He's approaching the tomb. Lamont, who can it be?
Wait. I think I recognize him. Yes. It's the old watchman.
Oh. Shall you wait now until he goes?
I'm not sure that he's going. He seems to be entering the tomb.
Lamont, isn't it strange after all that's happened that he should dare to enter there alone?
Very strange, and I'm going to find out why. Won't need this flashlight, Margot.
What are you going to do?
It is the shadow who will enter that tomb for a little conversation with the old watchman.
Shall I wait for you?
No. Take the car and return home. Stand by for the shortwave wireless. I may need your help in communicating a message of vital importance.
Good evening, Your Imperial Majesty. I've come again to see that you are resting well. Your work is nearly done. Only one more to gaze into your eyes. And then the vengeance is complete.
You have served me well.
Who speaks?
Who indeed would speak within the resting place of the king?
Are you the...
Yes. It is I, Kufratep, Pharaoh of Egypt.
Oh, Your Majesty.
Rise up. You need not kneel in my presence.
Yes, Your Highness.
Do not tremble. You have nothing to fear.
You are not angry?
Angry? Why should I be angry toward one who serves my interests? I have come to reward you.
To reward me?
Yes. But first, I must have an accounting.
What do you mean?
You must tell me how you brought death to the defilers of my tomb by the curse which bears my name.
Oh, the credit is not mine, Your Majesty.
Whose then?
Aldous Kent.
Aldous Kent? Why should he concern himself with me?
It is not your vengeance alone that he seeks, but his own as well. And mine. Kent is a great man, but no one would recognize him. They keep him slaving in the museum day after day, doing all the real work. While some others get the glory, just as they did to me. And now he's evening his score. Hail, Johnson, Stevenson, all those have paid for their stolen fame. But one more must die. Hawkins. And then Kent will achieve the position that is rightfully his.
Do you know how Kent destroyed those men?
Of course. I helped him, Your Majesty. Yeah, it was clever. So clever. They all scoffed at the legend of your curse, but it was really you who killed them.
I killed them?
Yeah, no one would dream that within your mummy there lies concealed the generator of the ray.
What ray?
The ray that shines from your eyes and destroys all who look upon you.
Show me how this is done.
It's so easy, Your Majesty. Here. Hidden here in the wall is a switch. You see? It is thrown like this. Then whoever approaches the mummy case, as I'm doing, and lifts the lid so, and gazes into your eyes, the gleam of death shines upon them. Oh, what have I done? I didn't mean to look. I couldn't. Save me. Save me.
I cannot save you. Your own evil knowledge has destroyed you. But by your death, you have pointed the way to Aldous Kent's undoing. Margot Lane. Calling Margot Lane. Calling Margot Lane. Communicate with Rafferty, the director of the museum, at once. Tell him to arrange the public opening of the tomb tomorrow as planned. Be sure that both Kent and Hawkins will be there. This is important. Margot, tell Rafferty that he must follow my directions implicitly. A man's life is at stake.
Before admitting the public, I have invited you, gentlemen of the press, to gather here to dispel once and for all this nonsense about the legend of the Cooper-Tep curse.
Well, just how do you propose to do that?
Yeah. Well, Mr. Burke, as you know, the tradition is that everyone who looks at the face of the mummy dies.
Sure, I know that.
I know that. Now, this Mr. Hawkins, gentlemen, he is the sole survivor of the Cooper-Tep expedition.
Yeah, we know Hawkins.
Yeah. He has volunteered to show you that there is no truth in the stories that your newspapers have played into national prominence.
What's he going to do?
The mummy case will be opened in your presence, and Mr. Hawkins will personally gaze on Cooper-Tep.
Now, this ought to be good.
Are you ready, Mr. Hawkins?
Well,
very well, you may proceed.
So, Mr. Rafferty,
Go ahead, Hawkins.
Mr. Rafferty, I can't. I changed my mind.
What? What do you know? But, Mr. Hawkins, do you realize what this means?
Yes, Hawkins, you must go through with it.
I'm afraid not, Kent. I've lost my nerve.
The prestige of the museum is at stake.
Well, you seem to have changed your attitude, Kent.
Well, I disapproved of this plan at the beginning, but as long as you've gone this far, I think you should carry it out.
Well, Kent is right.
Well, I'm sorry, but, well, when I think of the others, what happened to them, and seeing them die, I just can't.
Well, boys, looks like the show's over. Let's go.
Wait, gentlemen, don't leave. Now, Mr. Hawkins, if I volunteer to look on the mummy's face first, will you follow me?
Well,
That's certainly fair enough, Hawkins.
Very well.
Have I your permission to open the mummy case, Mr. Rafferty?
Yes, you have.
You're very brave, Mr. Kent.
Who's that?
It's the Shadow.
The Shadow? Boy, what a yarn this is going to be.
Shadow, why are you here?
I anticipated your performance, Mr. Kent, and I came to see that it was carried out properly.
What do you mean by that?
Before you proceed, I suggest that somebody throw the switch concealed in the carving on the wall.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You do know, Mr. Kent. I want your demonstration to duplicate Hale's, Stevenson's, and the others. The switch was thrown then.
This is absurd.
Here it is. I found the switch.
Please turn it on, Mr. Rafferty.
There you are. It's on.
Good. Now you may continue your little performance, Mr. Kent.
This whole thing is ridiculous. I refuse to be made a fool of.
Are you trying to back out,
Kent? I will not continue under these conditions.
I thought you wouldn't. You know that to look on the mummy's face when the switch is on would mean death.
That is not true.
But it is. And no one should know better than you. Concealed within that mummy is a murderous ray. That ray is your own conception.
That's a lie. There is no ray.
Then why don't you look on Kufratep now?
Because I...
Then you shall be forced to do so.
Oh, no.
Rafferty, Hawkins, feed him the mummy case.
Come on, Ken. I won't. Let go, man. Let go.
Somebody lift the lid of the case.
Let go. I won't look.
Now, Aldous Kent, stare long into the eyes of Kufratep. Do you see the evil light that glows within them? That's what the others saw.
No. I didn't. I killed him, I confess. I killed him, but don't make me look at it. Ah!
He's dead. Then it's true. There is a ray.
Not any longer, gentlemen. I removed the machinery that generated that ray. All that you have just seen was carefully staged to trap Aldous Kent. He is dead. He died of fear. Fear of the thing which he himself created. You have all witnessed the end of the curse of Kufratep. A curse which fell justly on the true desecrator of the tomb.
You have been listening to a dramatized version of one of the many copyrighted stories which appear in the Shadow magazine, now on sale at your local newsstand.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.
All the characters and all the places named are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.